welcome to Byju's Exam Prep. I'm Nivedita Rajay, and let us continue with our passage practice series. And today we are going to discuss the directions that Supreme Court has issued with regard to POSH. Now, POSH, as we all know, is Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2014, which was launched in 2014 as per Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan guidelines. So Vishakha is a very popular case which dealt with the issue of women not being able to work as freely as they should because of their counterparts trying to manipulate them, sexually harass them, जिनकी वजह से घर से बाहर निकल के एक डिग्निफाइड मैनर में एम्प्लॉयमेंट को कंटिन्यू करना, जॉब एम्बिशन करियर को कंटिन्यू करना, उस पे काम करना, ये बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. और इसी केस के बेसिस पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कुछ गाइडलाइंस इशू करी. सुप्रीम कोर्ट इशूड अ बंच ऑफ गाइडलाइंस व्हिच शुड बी made mandatory in an office environment so that a female can work freely. The same guidelines were used by the parliament, and a sexual harassment at workplace for women or against women was enacted later in 2014. This is a major case law and a beautiful set of guidelines that were issued. First time the Supreme Court actually considered the harassment or the adversities that a female might have to face when she is out in the world making her way, working to achieve what she deserves, right? So usi inequality ko and the spirit of article 14 and article 15 clause 3, which provides the state with the power to enact legislations or to create something which is addressing women and children, जो कि आर्टिकल 14 या स्पिरिट ऑफ इक्वालिटी का वायलेशन नहीं है, उसी को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये एक्ट आया. हालांकि इस एक्ट में कुछ लूप होल्स हैं जो हम पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, बट वी आर नॉट हियर टू डिस्कस दैट. वी आर हियर टू डिस्कस द लेटेस्ट डेवलपमेंट विद रिगार्ड टू सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट एक्ट. नाउ एज यू ऑल नो, वी आर ओनली डिस्कसिंग द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट सेगमेंट्स ऑफ द करंट अफेयर्स and the most important happenings around the world in these classes and the newspaper analysis classes, both for legal and GK. So make sure that the fact that you're getting these passages and information to practice from for free without spending any single penny is a boon. So make sure that you are religious with these sessions, attending them every week. ये हर week होते हैं Thursday को. Let us start. Now this is the passage. Let's continue. Are you guys done? पॉक्सो से रिलेटेड हम काफ़ी कुछ ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं. अगर कोई लेटेस्ट डेवलपमेंट आता है जो मुझे लगेगा कि हाँ आपको पढ़ाना चाहिए या उससे आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी चाहिए, तो हम उसे भी कर लेंगे. Right, okay, done. Are we done? Good. This is an important information. वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर कृष्णा तीरथ 2007 उन्होंने इस बिल को टेबल किया था, राइट, यूजिंग ऑल द गाइडलाइंस दैट सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैड इशूड. Read down the 5 circumstances properly. The first is implied or explicit promise of preferential treatment in employment. Second is implied or explicit threat of detrimental treatment in the employment. This is second. Third is implied or explicit threat about present or future employment status. Fourth is interference with work or creating an intimidating or offensive or hostile work environment. And the fifth is humiliating treatment which is likely to affect health or safety. Done? Okay. So everyone knows that we are launching, or we have launched actually free trial for the period of 3 days. So whoever is interested can just download the app, put down your number, and you can avail the trial. What are Supreme Court's recent concerns and directions? Are we done? हो गया? Good. Question number 1. Which of the following cannot be concluded from the passage? Sexual harassment is not defined. Cannot की बात हो रही है, ठीक है? Sexual harassment is not defined under POSH Act. Acts or incidents forming sexual harassment are not defined in POSH Act. Acts or incidents forming sexual harassment are left to the ambit of judiciary to define. As per the POSH Act, one incident of sexual harassment includes physical contact. What can we not conclude from the passage? And the answers? The correct answer is D. Yes. Sexual harassment to include unwelcome acts such as this physical contact, sexual advances, demand or request for sexual favors. So it's not just one act, it's actually a lot of acts, and there's a whole category of what can be counted as sexual harassment, right? So it's not just one act. And it is true that sexual harassment in a literal way is not really defined. It is more incorporated as something which includes a lot of things, right? It is not given as a definition. So D is the correct answer. Question number 2. As per the information provided in the passage, which of the following is not the consequence or impact of sexual harassment of women? Emotional, mental, physical or societal? And the correct answer is, इनमें से कौन सा women की life पे impact नहीं करता है when she is sexually harassed? And the correct answer is societal. It's not mentioned in the passage actually. So Justice Hema Kohli hasn't mentioned a societal impact that it might have on a lady, right? So since it is not mentioned in the passage, we won't just assume it. So D is correct. Very good. Now we have a workshop on 13th of August. It is the know-how of CLAT, like everything related to it. I know some students are still confused as to how to begin since they have not started. So you are only, counting or depending on these videos that you find here and there. So in order to channelize your preparation to give it a more direct and a disciplined form, this workshop is being conducted. Do attend it. It's free of cost. Again, on Byju's exam prep portal at 6 p.m. Question number 3. Due to implications of a landmark ruling by Supreme Court, the POSH guidelines came into being. These guidelines included almost all acts of sexual harassment with strict punishment. The punishment was so strict that it was assumed by the legal community that there will be a major decline in the sexual harassment cases. However, the cases kept on rising. Which of the following can be a reason for rising cases? And the reason for the rising cases are, these are the options: strict adherence to the enforcement regime by all the state and non-state actors, a proactive approach by all the states and non-state actors, no strict enforcement adherence to the enforcement regime, serious lacuna in the act. क्या है वजह जिसकी वजह से सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट और पॉश जैसे स्ट्रिक्ट गाइडलाइंस और इतना स्ट्रिक्ट एक्ट डिपार्टमेंट सब कुछ होने के बाद, मैकेनिज्म होने के बाद भी ये केसेस कम नहीं हो रहे, राइट? सो tomorrow legal analysis at 6 p.m. Yes, Namra, on the app. The correct answer is C, because there is no serious adherence to the enforcement of the act. So there is an entire wing or a department dedicated to the complaints of sexual harassment in every office. In fact, these departments have been made compulsory even in educational institutions like coachings, wherein students can institute a complaint against their teachers or professors if there is a case like that. But the enforcement is not as such. They generally go for settlement. They try to hide the fact and bury everything that has happened by giving or offering lady a settlement, or by further threatening her, so that the issue is not escalated and the name of the corporation or the institution involved is not embellished. So that is something that people are not really very excited about. Anyhow, so is the C is the correct answer. Fourth, Russia, a young eminist news reporter recently had to quit her job and sit back at home to seek work from home opportunities. In an interview, she revealed that she fears going to her office and she'll choose a work from home option at a lesser salary, or will not work at all rather than joining her office, because it lacks a safe and secure workplace. Who is responsible for Russia's fear? Supreme Court, High Court, management, or Russia herself? Is she just a paranoid, insecure person who is finding faults with everything, or are the courts responsible? And the correct answer is C. Very good. Management. Management is responsible. The fact that an employee is not able to feel safe in a work environment is because of management's fault. They're not able to provide her with a conducive environment where she can work freely and where she knows that her complaints would be addressed. Right? So management is the correct answer. Question number 5. Which of the following is the reason behind Supreme Court's concern about POSH Act? There are minor lapses in the Act. There are uncertainty in some chapters of the Act. There is uncertainty in the Act. There is no punishment prescribed in the Act. And the correct answer is, it's given in the passage. The correct answer is C. Right, there are serious lapses and uncertainty in the Act. Right, so basically if the management or the company or the work environment is not conducive, or if the corporate or the company or entity involved or that is, under a mandate to have a department of POSH, does not actually do it, is fails to address a complaint or fails to make that department or to give security to its female workers or employees, is not liable to basically much. Right, so sexual harassment at workplace definitely is an act which makes it mandatory for all the corporates to have a department separate which can address complaints like this. But what if a department introduces a what if a corporate introduces a department but the department is not as effective, staffed नहीं है और addressal उतना fast नहीं है, mechanism उतना easy नहीं है, तो अगर पॉश की गाइडलाइन से कोई कॉर्पोरेट या एंटिटी पूरी तरह से अपने आप को फेमिलियर नहीं कर रही है, पॉश की गाइडलाइंस को फॉलो नहीं कर रही है, तो उस कॉर्पोरेट या एंटिटी के अगेंस्ट क्या एक्शन लिया जा सकता है. और बहुत सारी अनसर्टेनिटीज हैं जो कि पॉश को बहुत एक वीक एक्ट भी बना देती हैं, और इसी बेसिस पे, इसी चीज पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कंसर्न अपना शो किया है. राइट, सो सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. Question number 6. Which of the following can be beneficial in effective implementation of POSH? Formation of internal complaint committees, composition of such panels in strict adherence with the POSH Act, recruitment of a female officer heading the internal complaint committee, both A and B. And the correct answer is, we have launched a test series, right, for both CLAT 24 and 25. So the students who are already paid subscribers, they don't need to subscribe to this separate, test series. But students who are, still not able to find proper test, they can actually channelize their preparation through this. There are more than, as you can see, there are about 55 to 60 mocks containing both CLAT, ALET and other law entrances test mocks. So you can subscribe it, very cheap, and you can start practicing properly. And it is actually recommended by all the CLAT toppers. No matter who you talk to, who has secured a rank through Byju's, they would always recommend you the test series and the benefits that are there, right? So D is the correct answer, okay? Both A and B. Formation of internals complaint committee, composition of panels in strict adherence with the POSH Act. Both A and B is the correct answer. Question number 7. On the basis of disciplinary authority's decision to dismiss someone from service, on the basis of complaints of sexual harassment, which of the following is possible? Appeal in the SC, no appeal in any court, no appeal in SC, appeal in Supreme Court, but Supreme Court has limited powers. डिसिप्लिनरी अथॉरिटी के डिसीजन को कहाँ चैलेंज किया जा सकता है बेसिकली? And the answer is A, Supreme Court. One can lodge a complaint in the Supreme Court of India because the act actually follows through Supreme Court guidelines. So इमेजिन कितनी बड़ी स्ट्रिक्ट एक्ट है ये। मतलब अगर आपको इसके जजमेंट को चैलेंज करना है, डिसिप्लिनरी एक्ट के जजमेंट को, ऑर्डर को, बेसिकली डिसिप्लिनरी एक्ट के डिसीजन को या ऑर्डर को चैलेंज करना है, जहां पे आपको लगता है कि प्रॉपर एड्रेसल नहीं हुआ कंप्लेंट का, तो आप सीधा सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे, एपेक्स अथॉरिटी। कोई डिस्ट्रिक्ट, स्टेट, चैनल इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये मैटर सीधा अपने हाथ में ले रखा है। दैट्स हाउ स्ट्रिक्ट एंड ग्रेट दिस एक्ट इज। द ओनली थिंग इज पुअर एनफोर्समेंट। Question number 8. Which of the following is true regarding the Protection of Women Against Sexual Harassment at Workplace Bill? It was passed unamended. It was amended beyond recognition. It was amended, but the amendments were not accepted. It went through amendments. क्या है सच इनमें से? What is true with regard to the bill? अनअमेंडेड ही पास हो गया, अमेंड होके आया लेकिन रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं था, अमेंड हुआ लेकिन अमेंडमेंट एक्सेप्ट नहीं किए गए, या फिर अमेंडमेंट हो गए। It's very easy. The correct answer is D, obviously. It is given in the passage itself, right? Development Minister Krishna Tirath in 2007 tabled it. It passed through various amendments. After the amendments, it was launched as an act, right? So D is the correct option. So this is the comprehensive course that the free trial is available for. It provides you with everything. Despite the fact that you only have 4 months left, we have come up with new courses for CLAT 2024, wherein you would still get a proper guidance and everything that you need in your exam in these 4 months also. So it's not just the preparation part that we are covering. Along with the preparation, we are covering everything: practice, revision, monitoring, addressing your problems. Everything that a course gets is also provided in this short duration course. So it is kind of a crash course, but it is based on a very comprehensive platform. So you can still make a decision. There is just so much that you are provided with in this course. And that's it for today. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. We have a sample paper analysis scheduled very soon. तो क्लैट कंसोर्शियम ने फर्स्ट सैम्पल पेपर रिलीज कर दिया है. You don't really get the idea of what you might get through sample papers, but the kind of questions do give you an insight of what consortium might be planning. Although the insight has to be cumulative, but you can prepare it accordingly, right? You can practice accordingly. So a discussion regarding that sample paper is tabled. We are going to do that very soon, so stay tuned. Also, the newspaper analysis is going to be released tomorrow from a legal perspective, and it will be done at 6 p.m. on the app. So be there. I shall see you again tomorrow. तब तक के लिए सब अपना ख्याल रखेंगे. हम फिर मिलेंगे. Bye bye. Thank you so much.